What do you do in the evening when you don't know what to do? Read a book, play a game, every night is just the same. What do you say if I tell you how to keep from feeling blue? My advice is good to take and it's easier to do. When you're all alone, any old night, and you're feeling out of tune, pick up your hat, close up your flat, and get out and get under the moon. Underneath the bright, silvery light, you'll be feeling better soon. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, and get out and get under the moon. Look, look, look at the stars above. Look, look, look at those sweeties love. Oh boy, give me a night in June. I mean it, all you got to do any old night when you're feeling out of tune. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, and get out and get under the moon. When you make a date any old night, gonna meet your sweetie soon. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, and get out and get under the moon. Underneath the bright, silvery light, that's the only place to spoon. Pick up your hat, close up your flat, and get out and get under the moon. Walk, walk, kiss and then walk again, talk, talk, kiss and then talk again, oh joy, sweethearts are all in tune. I mean it, when it's raining out, stay in a room, but on a lovely night in June, here's what to do, sweetie, and you just get out and get under the moon. If you're with a girl and she is cold, says she doesn't want her spoon, don't you feel blue? Here's what you do, just get out and get under the moon. If you feel a kiss and she gets sore, she'll forget it mighty soon. Don't stop to fret, she'll learn to pet when you get her under the moon. Indoors, there's not a thing to do. In-laws walk in and out on you. Oh boy, sister and brother too. I've tried it, just take my advice. If she is nice, nice as any night in June, just take her hand, she'll understand, and get out and get under the moon.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and mademoiselles, welcome to, number 5027 episode of Founders Anonymous. As always, James is at the helm, clickety-clacking.
It does feel like that. Like, we've got to be, seriously deep into these things.
5 billion episodes later. What's up, IC? What's Mark? Ezekiel, hey, everybody. Everybody that may be here who hasn't said hello, be sure you either like or dislike the stream.
Yeah, do one of the two things.
Do one of those two things.
Very simple. Just interact. Doesn't matter, positive, negative, whatever.
You won't hurt our feelings. We'll know the love is there.
Yeah. Nice, Sophie. What's up?
Hey, Sophie. Well, we're doing good here, Ezekiel. How are you? It's, still record-breaking heat everywhere. Might as well just go ahead and, I don't know.
Honestly, yesterday was wonderful here. It was like there was no humidity. It's been really shitty the last week and a half with the humidity. It's only been in the 80s, but it's felt like it's 100 degrees because of the humidity. But yesterday there was no humidity, and we were in the maybe high 80s. So in the shade with the breeze, it was super comfortable.
Our mornings have been cool-ish, not cold, but coolish. Like bearable.
Yeah, for Florida, I get that.
Yeah, I can imagine California's. This is insane. It's just sounds cold. Our humidity has stayed probably in the 80% stage.
I mean, we've been right up there with Florida humidity the last week and a half up till yesterday. I mean, it was as soon as I walked outside, I was sweating, and I've been working on our boat and everything, and I'm out there for 10 minutes and I'm literally drenched in sweat, and I'm not even in the sun. It's just the humidity is so bad.
Ezekiel say you die here. So, Ezekiel, is it? I know Australia is hot, but is it hot and humid, or is it like a dry heat? Is it just 300 degrees, but 10% humidity?
I think it depends on where they're at, though. I would imagine that Sydney would be just like Florida because they're surrounded by water. I mean, obviously not as much as Florida is, but I mean, much of Sydney is on the water. Out there working on the boat, drinking mom water. Listen, you could hate on mom water all you want, but for somebody that had gastric sleeve surgery, for an alcoholic beverage to have absolutely no carbonation is a big deal for me, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
I'm gonna have to be explained what mom water and whipped cream means. That's
well, so
what is that?
They're two different things. Mom water is an alcoholic drink that is it's created by 4 women. It's a women-run company, and they're what? So imagine a Mike's Hard Lemonade with 0 carbonation. That's kind of what mom water is. It's like a malted beverage with flavoring that has no carbonation.
Huh.
And that's what appeals to me because I can't really do carbonation too well. So if I'm outside and I'm sweating, I can't really drink a beer because beer is carbonated. It hurts me. But mom water, which doesn't have carbonation, I can still get the alcohol without having the carbonation. So it works for me. It's terrible, I know, whatever. I don't care.
You know what? Alcohol is a diuretic, so you really shouldn't be doing it. But of course, it's not. You're not in this kind of heat.
No, so definitely not.
Wait a minute. Let's see here. Wait. Ezekiel says in the north it is humid. Okay, humidity is crazy. All right.
Hey, Julio. What's up, dude?
I see monsters. The water, the water at the tip of Florida is literally almost 100 degrees. It's 98 point something degrees. It's body temperature, which is it's hot, and that's going to propagate throughout the Gulf of Mexico.
Yep.
And
enjoy that hurricane season.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on some wood here.
Well, we've already been told this winter is going to be brutal because of the El Nino or La Nina, whatever it is. One of them is super strong, and it's going to massively affect our winter this year because of the moisture it's going to bring up from the Gulf Coast.
We have plenty of that. But yeah, it's the water is excessively hot. And what that apparently causes is, if normally the water's 10, 15 degrees cooler than the shore, and it creates a really nice breeze. But when the water is the same damn temperature as the shore, it's stagnant, which makes apparently beach going, which I haven't done in 1,000 years, unpleasant.
Well, it breeds a lot of bacteria too. So you got red tide's going to be happening unbelievably. As soon as the upwelling happens from the Gulf Stream, you're going to have red tide. Those are going to be massive fish kills.
I tell you what, it's bad enough. I can't remember where this was. It was off the coast of Florida. It's so bad they know the coral reefs are going to die off. Now there's a mad dash to grab just chunks of the coral reef and bring it to one of the big aquariums in South Florida or something like that to try and preserve some of it. Literally, that's how hot the fucking water is.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing they've been trying to do for a few years, though. Like, I know everybody hates on SeaWorld, but SeaWorld's been a really big component in preserving, the natural Florida reefs. And they've been growing out coral reefs in their own private tanks for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 years now. Because literally the natural reefs are all dying off. It's the same way in Australia, though. Like, look, the Great Barrier Reef, I would say, well, 45 to 60% of the Great Barrier Reef has completely bleached out because of the water temperatures.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't rain on Halloween. Well, it may be 100 degrees on Halloween, but you can never tell with them.
We're probably gonna end up with like 4 inches of snow on Halloween because of this shit. We had rain last Halloween. It was rainy and hot up here on Halloween. Like, I remember going out, I was taking my daughter, we were walking in the neighborhood. I was sweating my ass off just walking in the neighborhood because it was like 115% humidity, and then it just started pouring. So like, that was the end of Halloween night for us. Like, we had 2 to 3 hours of decent trick-or-treating and then pouring rain from the rest of the night.
Yeah, the amoebas are going to be bad in the lakes.
Well, that's the thing. Up here, like, you're technically not supposed to swim in the lakes up here because most of them are man-made. So like the lake that we go to, that we go boating on and stuff, which we do swim in, because right now the water temperatures are like, in the deeper parts, it's like 40 to 50 degrees, and when you get closer to shore, it's probably like 70 to 80 degrees. But like, as far as all the amoebas and like the brain-eating amoebas, they really like, they do super well in water temps over 80 degrees. So like, our smaller lakes, you cannot swim in at all because it's entirely too risky. And I would not. Like, we went to the closest lake to our house is like 15 minutes. The one we normally go to is about 30 minutes. But the difference between the one that we go to that's 30 minutes versus the one that we go to that's 15 minutes is massively different, because the one that we go to that's 30 minutes away is like, there are parts of the lake that are like 120 feet deep. Even though it was a completely man-made thing, they did this like in cooperation with a photography company. I don't remember which one it was specifically, but then the one that's closer to us is more of a reservoir as opposed to a lake. So like, it's just, the water there is terrible because it's so shallow.
Huh.
And like, up here there are legit, like, every year you hear people like, oh, the brain-eating amoebas are, reproducing in the lakes, don't swim in the lake. So like, yeah, we don't fuck around. Once it gets above like 78 to 80 degrees, that's like, 80 is the highest that I'm comfortable going into. Other than that, I'm going in the pool.
Is it freshwater?
Yeah, it's freshwater. We're like 45 minutes from the closest saltwater body of water where we are. Not going to the Jersey Shore. That's a whole different kind of infection. Mark said, fuck the Jersey Shore.
Well, I don't get in nature's water anymore anyway. Don't care if it's 10 degrees or 100 degrees.
Well, we spent a lot of time just simply fishing. Like, we've got our paddle boat. We've been taking out pontoon boats from our local place. And, I mean, the fishing is good. it's a little better on the pedal boat than it is the pontoon boat because I have to actually pilot the pontoon boat as opposed to throwing the anchor over the pedal boat and just sitting there on the shore, you know. But the water's still been like super solid. Yeah, well, the Gulf Coast and the East Coast of Florida, they definitely deal with those giant hammerheads. There was a video probably 2 weeks ago, I think. There was that the hammerhead that they filmed, and I think it wasn't far from you. I think it was like maybe Destin or somewhere.
Oh, really?
It was on the Gulf Coast. That the hammerhead was fucking massive. He had like a 4-foot dorsal. And he was just cruising in like 3 feet of water. And everybody's like, get out of the water. And nobody was moving. And they saw the fin. And they're like, oh shit, it's Jaws. We got to get out of here.
It's the hammerhead version of Jaws.
I'd be more afraid of a fucking hammerhead than I would of a great white. Like a great white's going to get close to shore, but a hammerhead will get literally on shore. Jellyfish, sea lice, sand in your ass. Nope. You're not a beachgoer? How are you going to live in Australia with one of the most beautiful beaches in the entire world and be like, no, fuck that beach? Like the Gold Coast, probably top 5 in the greatest beach surfing areas ever, and definitely top 2 as far as the most dangerous place to go as far as anything that wants to murder you. Because they've got like the blue ring octopus that you step on it will kill you instantly. They've got those fucking the little fish that the rock fish that you step on, they'll murder you instantly. The man o' war that will absolutely wreck your entire day and probably month. Hammerheads really aren't that like aggressive towards human, but this hammerhead was massive and was literally in 3 feet of water, and there were probably 300 or 400 people just within 50 yards of this thing. Well, the thing with hammerheads though, hammerheads are way more skittish than something like a bull shark or a tiger shark. But like you guys have literal jellyfish that will end your life within 15 minutes.
All the above reasons why I don't go to the beach.
I would take a hammerhead over a bull shark or a tiger shark any day.
Maybe we'll make the news.
Like dying at Disneyland or Disney World seems like a pretty good way to make the news.
Is Bob Iger selling ABC? That's my question of the night for you. I'm reading things, odd things. I'm surrounded by the whitest beaches in the world, and they're gorgeous. And
you're also surrounded by bull sharks and tiger sharks.
So that's a big old note for me too. So.
And hammerheads, because the Gulf is literally probably one of the worst places to go in that area as far as sharks go, because all the shrimp boats, everything that happens out there, you know, you've got oil rigs, the shrimp boats to bring them in. It's just no thank you. I would swim 400 yards offshore in the Atlantic before I would go 50 yards into the Gulf.
Yeah, tourists are kind of crazy. Well, we also have like oil and Corexit in the Gulf, so you don't want to. I just don't.
Well, they've got plenty of Makos in the Gulf too. They're just generally around the oil rigs. Urkon douchey jellyfish.
Douchey jelly.
Like, that was a lot. I had to literally pronounce each syllable, and I still was not like completely 100% certain on how I was pronouncing it. The Urkandoushi.
Meow, 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 meow.
Arukandaji? Is that better? Oh, it is Arukandaji. Okay. Then fuck me, I guess, the first time.
I no, you added an extra syllable. I mean,
Arukandaji.
you're adding an A in between canned and G though.
Arukanji. 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 All right. I'm sorry for the extra syllable. I apologize. Arukanji.
Well, you know what? I don't
Come up with easier names for your fucking venomous fish, would you? Jesus Christ.
Even you said Dodge. You put that part in there, apparently it probably turns it into a land-dwelling animal.
Arukanji. Okay. Arukanji.
Jumanji.
Yeah. The Arukanji fucking jellyfish will wreck your life. There. That's a thing we've all said now on this show.
Jumanji fish. Jesus.
Hey, let's talk about Halloween Horror Nights and all the great things they've got coming up this year. Two of the huge announcements. Let me just get these out of the way because everybody's chomping at the bit for this information, you know, because it's fucking Halloween Horror Nights and everybody wants to know. So, two of the things you can witness now currently at the Orlando Halloween Horror Nights would be The Last of Us, based off the series, based off the video game, or the latest season of Stranger Things. So we've got a video game and we have Stranger Things. So we're basically going back to what, 2018?
Sure, we'll say that.
Yeah. Well, they did Resident Evil and they did Stranger Things in the same year. Now they're doing The Last of Us, which is Resident Evil on mushrooms, and they're doing again Stranger Things, but this time you get to see Vecna, you know, the amazing antagonist from the latest season, who simply looks like a burnt up Grinch from the Jim Carrey live action film. He's got the pot belly. It's a whole thing. I hate it. I hate everything about it.
Well, like I said before, I'm glad that I just don't give a damn about Halloween Horror Nights and people.
It's getting worse though. Like, I still love Halloween Horror Nights simply because of my connection to it. But at the same time, it's just like you can only throw so much shit on the fire before it starts to smell really bad.
By the way, Dead End Tiger Sharks, that would suck. Yeah, but Halloween Horror Nights, it's I can't even make jokes about it anymore. I can't even like bash it anymore because I did it for so long now. All I can say is I count myself very, very thankful that I went for a decade and a half or whatever while it was actually in its prime. And now it's just, I could care 10 levels of hell less.
Like, we talked about going this year simply so we could go hang out with, you know, Mark and Jackie and everything. But it's not worth it. Like, the amount the hotels cost versus normal visitation, you know, it's just...
normal visitation.
I have no reason to want to actually go to Halloween Horror Nights whatsoever. I'll just go visit fucking Central Florida without going to Halloween Horror Nights.
I'll just wait till it's cooler and no longer October.
I like how Mark is just trying to be super positive, and he knows that's 100% fucking wishful thinking. Hey, Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
How are you?
Did you get the stickers finally, by the way?
I think she
Because-
did. I think she messaged me and said like she got the.
That was crazy with my stupidity.
But like you can't even go support the local haunts in Orlando because they're all kind of terrible at this point.
Okay, good, Jessica. Okay, we'll get you some more. Just let us know.
Like you can go to the drive-through haunt, which I don't know if they've even announced they're doing anything this year. I mean, you can go visit Old Town in Mortimer Manor, which is amazing, and a local haunt, I suppose. But other than that, like you got to drive 45 minutes outside of Orlando to go at anything actually decently local haunted.
Oh my God, what the hell was the name of that drive-through? And now I can't remember.
Oh, dude, I don't remember either. I'm so far fucking withdrawn from it that I don't even remember.
The horny, haunted, U-shape.
Well, all right, I can see going to Sir Henry's, which again,
Oh, Fear Road. That's close, Mark.
is pretty close. I don't think it was Fear Road though. It was like,
It was Road. It was something Road.
yeah, like
I'll look it up.
Haunted Road or something. I feel like Haunted Road might have been it, but I'm not sure.
Oh, let's see.
Sir Henry's, I feel like is worth the 30-minute drive. But again, I'm saying it's at best, you've got a 30-minute ride to go to anything local inside the metro Orlando area. So now you have Halloween Horror Nights, you have Hollow Scream at SeaWorld. You have Mickey's Not So Scary, which is probably more scary than Halloween Horror Nights at this point. And then you have Mortimer Manor and Old Town, which is still probably a 20 to 25 minute drive. Yeah, but just because it's SeaWorld doesn't make it a local haunt. Like, Hollow Scream is kind of a nationally known thing. Like, yeah, they moved it to SeaWorld last year. They're going to do it again this year. And there's going to be like 18 people that go to it. Well, you can go to an OBT any night. And yeah, you roll your window down, you're getting drugs or prostitutes. I mean, it's probably more scary than the Haunted Road was. I really think it was called the Haunted Road.
No, it is. I'm on their Facebook page. The last post they did was like end of October last year.
When it's, Mark said when it's $90 to go 30 times as local. Yeah, but you get annual pass holder discounts from Jackie, and no one really goes to SeaWorld because Blackfish, which I want to talk about here for a minute, by the way. The documentary Blackfish 100% was an entire disservice to the entire marine aquatic preservation community, because they portrayed SeaWorld as a completely like 100% villain, which granted, maybe in the 60s, 70s, early 80s might have been the case, but within the last 25 to 30 years, SeaWorld has done nothing but support local manatee population. They've recuperated numerous dolphins. The sea turtle population, again, they massively help with the sea turtle population. And they have an entire unit dedicated to marine animal rescue, which was completely funded by SeaWorld. And since all the Blackfish propaganda came out, they've cut out their polar bear exhibit, their walrus exhibit. They have no more narwhals. They had 2 belugas. You can't even get into the penguin exhibit. And I think they do 2 Shamu shows a day. And I think they only do 3 dolphin exhibit shows per day as well now. So like SeaWorld has literally become Six Flags with a few marine animals involved. Dude, I loved Wild Arctic. I'm not even really super upset about the Wild Arctic ride being gone. But when I go to see a narwhal, or I go to see a walrus, or I go to see a polar bear, and literally all 3 of them are gone because of this shit, no, fuck it. I don't care.
Ezekiel says their churros are expensive too. So.
I don't think they were that expensive. Like, no more than Disney was. And a portion of all the money that SeaWorld takes, they donate to wildlife preservation. They kept the narwhals alive for several years. Like, it's not like an impossible thing like a great white that's going to die in 6 days. They had narwhals for years. They simply caved to the pressure. They don't have polar bears. They don't have narwhals. They said they had walruses, but there were no goddamn walruses in that exhibit when we were there. So again, no narwhals, no polar bears, no walruses. They had 2 belugas. That's it. So if I want to go and visit the Arctic Circle and see what animals live there, and I can't, I'm not fucking doing it. Dude, I'm telling you, the day we went, when Jackie went with us, there were no goddamn walruses in that tank. They said there were. I stood there for 15 minutes looking for a walrus. There were no fucking walruses in that tank. They might have had one in the back hidden, but he wasn't on display. And every time I've been there, there's been at least 2 to 3 walruses on display the entire time. I'm not buying it. They've 100% caved to the pressure of Blackfish. No more orca breeding program. They're not taking any more dolphins. They're not taking any more fucking manatees. Like you've completely fucked everything that SeaWorld did for Florida simply by watching some bullshit propaganda show. And I fucking hate it. I 100% hate it. I'm sorry. I've always saw SeaWorld as a place to learn and appreciate marine animals. And it's no longer that. There's literally fucking an entire area dedicated to fucking Sesame Street. What the fuck does Sesame Street have to do with aquatic animals? I don't know. It's a complete disconnect from the rest of the park. So now we have a bunch of roller coasters nobody gives a shit about. We have Sesame Street, and we have 2 orca shows a day if you're lucky, and 3 dolphin shows. I mean, fuck it. Why go? I don't want to go back to SeaWorld. I'd rather just donate my money to an actual marine sanctuary at this point.
They're pushing the whole pedo thing at Disney too. Jeez.
Blackfish killed SeaWorld. It's ocean themed Six Flags. Dude, it's not even ocean themed anymore though. Like, there was so much that we went through that I felt like a complete disconnect from the marine environment. I hated it. It pissed me off. Like 20 years ago, 15 years ago even, you go to SeaWorld, you felt like, okay, they actually give a shit about our oceans and preserving them. And now, no, fuck it. The roller coasters and churros. Have a good time. Oh, you want to go visit the sharks? You're going to spend $300 on lunch for 4 fucking people.
I'm not sure if Sophie's saying you're being salty or salt is good on cooked fish.
No, she's saying I'm salty. She knows. I know what she means.
Funny.
Well, okay. I granted, if you don't like marine animals, you don't like fish, you don't like the oceans, I mean, I get it. Like, probably not the place to go. Because back then, I mean, they had the Kraken, Journey to Atlantis, and Wild Arctic. That was kind of the big 3. Since, like, Blackfish came out, they've had Kraken, Manta, Mako, Icebreaker, whatever the new one is that has to do with surfing, Infinity Falls, none of which, like, if Infinity Falls could take you through literally any type of an aquarium at one point, like if you could just float through a freshwater aquarium on a boat, just seeing, you know, anything, any freshwater fish, that ride would be 100 times better. And granted, when I was there, we rode it 3 times in a row because we bought the express pass, so like we could just keep going on it, because it was really the only ride worth a shit getting onto for a family, you know, of, well, we had 4 of us initially and then 3. But like, none of the other rides, who gives a fuck? They're roller coasters. We can go anywhere to ride roller coasters. I want to go to SeaWorld to see polar bears, to see narwhals, to see walruses, to see penguins, to see fucking orcas, everything. But no, what do I get? I get fucking 1 dolphin show, 1 show involving sea lions and otters, and then I get completely fucked on the Wild Arctic ride because they closed the ride. So now you just have to walk through the queue to go see 2 fucking beluga whales. I'm sorry. That's who gives a shit? I'd rather go to Universal. If I want to see fish, I'll turn around and look at my aquarium because I have saltwater and I have freshwater.
They literally closed the Wild Arctic ride 10+ years ago.
Dude, I literally asked the guy. He said they closed Wild Arctic in 2020 during the whole pandemic thing. That's literally what the guy that told me, who was standing at the entrance to Wild Arctic. I was like, when the fuck they close this? He was like, oh yeah, 2020. They were just like, we're not going to open it anymore.
Ezekiel wants to see carnage. Oh my god.
Well, that's the other thing though. Like, you know, 15 years ago, the trainers were allowed to swim with the orcas, but then Blackfish came out and the whole Tilikum thing. So then no longer are the trainers allowed to swim with the orcas. So they have to only interact with them from, you know, the stage. It was always cool to watch some dude get launched 15 feet in the air off the back of a fucking orca. Like, I want to pretend like, yeah, I can go to Oregon and ride a fucking orca and he's going to launch me in the air 15 feet. It's the whole Free Willy concept. But no more.
The whole Free Willy concept. I have also not seen a walrus or a narwhal. Jessica.
Have you never been to SeaWorld?
I'm sure I went to it 1,000 years ago, but I don't remember any of it.
I do know I have videos from the last time, like prior to this trip, which was probably 12 years ago, at least. Well, no, it was probably 11 years ago. It was when my sister got married and we were down in Orlando for her wedding. We went to SeaWorld and we rode Wild Arctic and then went and saw the walruses and the narwhals. And the walruses, they used to like rub against, they would rub up against the glass on the enclosure. So like you could just be standing there and all of a sudden like a 1,200-pound fucking walrus brushes his fat ass up against the fucking glass that you're standing right next to. So you're within 5 inches of plexiglass between you and a walrus's ass. And that was enjoyable back then. Now, I mean, now they're empty tanks with 2 fucking belugas. Which I love beluga whales, but when everybody goes to see polar bears, narwhals, walruses, and all they have is 2 fucking beluga whales, they all congregate around the one area and you can't even get up to see them because there's too many fucking people. God, this is going to set me off on a whole different tangent. I swear to God, Mark, you send me a fucking walrus photo, I'm going to write SeaWorld a strongly worded message.
You can see more wildlife if you swim there. That's true. And there's a better chance that,
You're going to die.
you're going to die. I think that's fair. If you're going to go in their territory to go see them.
Here's the other thing. When we went, we ate at the Shark Encounter restaurant, which, is like our table was literally up against the aquarium wall. So we were, 15 feet underwater and we had sharks swimming up against the glass, 6 inches away from us, which was super awesome. But I got lobster bisque. My daughter got an appetizer, which was 3 bison sliders. My other daughter got a chicken sandwich, and Tiffany got, I think she got a chicken sandwich as well. Our bill for fucking 4 people was like $178. And all we got to see were some sharks swimming up against glass, which then we went into the actual Shark Encounter exhibit, which, if anybody's ever been there, they have a moving walkway, so there's not a huge pileup in the tube where you're going through the actual tank itself. Well, when we went, the fucking moving walkway was not moving. So everyone was literally jammed up in the fucking tube. And it took us like 30 minutes to get through something that should have taken us maybe 7 minutes to get through.
I know, right? The shark's watching you eat lobster bisque. If I was a shark, I'd be more like, can I have some French fries?
Well, and here's the thing, though. Once we ate at the restaurant, we went outside to where they have all the outdoor tanks where you can feed them. And we did buy fucking 3 things of fish, which was like $27 for 3 containers of 4 fish each. Ugh. So we got 12 fish for like $30. That was awesome. And the problem is, you're not feeding the sharks, you're feeding all the goddamn Jack Travell that are in the tank with the sharks, which is far less entertaining because unless they have a hook in them, who gives a shit? They're fish. I feel like this whole stream has been me bitching about fucking SeaWorld. which does have Hollow Scream. So I mean, there is a slight connection, but
That's when they like paint the shark faces with pumpkins.
well, no, you can go through their random outdoor mazes for 18 feet with 2 characters, and I don't know. They said they did good last year. I've not yet once been to a SeaWorld Hallow Scream event. I went to Hallow Scream when it was at Busch Gardens, and that shit was horribly underwhelming. But that was like 15 years ago, at least. But I can't imagine it being much better at SeaWorld, because all I really have to go off of is the Orlando vloggers that constantly jerk off on everything, you know, theme park related. Yeah, their mazes are huge, but there's like 3 fucking people in the maze. I would go to Hallow Scream at SeaWorld simply so I could experience SeaWorld at night without the urgency of having to be like, okay, we gotta go. The park closes in 15 minutes. Oh, now Disney's Mickey's Not So Scary was cool 10 years ago. Now it's completely oversold. So you're basically going to an event at night that costs you 60% more than a daytime ticket. Plus, you're still going to wait in line for all the rides, which used to be the biggest draw to that event. And you could wait in line to get like a handful of candy. But like, here's my thing. YouTube video bloggers, because I'm not going to call them vloggers because they're all a bunch of dicks. These people have ruined the event. Like, it used to be like, okay, it's a cool niche thing that like people would go to. It was a limited ticket event. Now it's like, yeah, fuck it. Let everybody in. Who cares? Fuck the wait times. Fuck the guest experience. We want that money. So many things I could talk about. Universal, Disney, and fucking SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. It pissed me off. But they all do have, you know, haunted attractions, which still, again, pisses me off.
I was kind of hoping Vic would show up so we could talk about his thing in August, but kind of had some questions.
I've got many questions for Vic, and I'm kind of annoyed he's not here. So tag Vic in this video so we can listen to the last.
He and Keith are gone. I wonder if there's some live stream about, you know, Midwest Honors Convention that they forgot to mention how cool the bathrooms were or something.
Yeah, what a bunch of dicks. Like, we move it to Wednesday, they're like, oh no, now there's other things on Wednesday we gotta do. Like, god damn it, we're not gonna do this fucking show on Sunday night. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I can't do the show on Sunday night. It would not work for me. Yeah, let's see, Make-A-Wish thing, so. Let's see, Starlight Make-A-Wish thing, so. Let's fuck all people about it was sensational last time we went. It was packed ludicrous.
Well, like, they did other things at the other parks too. Like, they had the Christmas the Christmas light thing at MGM was the what the hell was the name of them? I want to say Oswald, but I don't think it was the Oswalds. It might have been.
No, it was Ozzy Osbourne, the Osbournes.
Yeah, it was the Osbournes' fucking Christmas light spectacular. It was just giant bats with their heads cut off and bleeding on people and other shit. That's really what it is. So, like, they figured out they could operate on a minimal staff, but now they're like literally allowing pre-COVID guests into the park. So they have minimal staff, maximum crowds, and absolute shit customer satisfaction. Like, it's been a thing across all the message boards, all the fucking blogs, everything has been like Disney, Universal. Well, Universal hasn't been as bad, but Disney definitely. That was a Bob Paycheck thing. He ruined that company for a lot of reasons, and they're slowly inching their way back up, but I don't think they're ever getting back to where they were. Universal has all their eggs in one basket as far as Epic Universe.
Oh, hey Ranger. Let's see. It seems a lot of things have changed after COVID. Crowds are often huge. There's often not enough staff to take care of the guests. Dead end, yeah. Had the Texas Haunter's Convention. Yes, noticed that Burping Clerns won the group costume contest. That was actually pretty sad.
That brings down the Texas Haunter Convention to like
a notch and 10.
Oh, like they're like a 3 now.
3.
If the best you have to offer for a Halloween Haunters Convention costume contest is fucking Verping Clerns, get out of here.
Literally wearing the same mask, just different colors.
If the best you have is the fucking most common basic bitch fucking clown, no.
$100 in Transformer shit to calm him down. Well, there you go. Totally. Since he's not here, though, we are on Halloween talk. Vic is actually August the 26th having a Halloween Oddities and Curiosities. First annual spelled wrong on this one, but
I have so many questions for Vic right now.
Well, the address, I mean, it's a very odd address. It looks like an old American Legion post building that I can't imagine fits 100 vendors, but I'm just curious as to if that's the address, because it took me 3 attempts on Google to actually get it to pull something up correctly. And of course, all it was really saying was Birmingham, Alabama, which is the racist capital of the United States. But it was ANNUL, so it was Annual. But it wasn't the poster that he's been putting out. It was somebody else with the last name of Lawrence. Yeah, totally glad you did good though, Dead End. We just have to rag THC because
Burping Clerns and shit.
So that's just a level of. But hopefully all the vendors and stuff did well. Hopefully there was it a Dead End was a pretty good sized turnout, like for vendors and for customers. It's funny. I would actually drive the 5 hours or so to this Halloween thing. I swore 20-something years ago I would never, ever not know how to go back to Birmingham, Alabama. I throw up in my mouth when I had to go through it with I-65. So that's my only.
Isn't there like a country song about Birmingham?
Yeah, probably. But it's probably like praising the Klans members that live there.
How is MD closer to Texas than me? What?
What the shit are you talking about, Mark?
I swear to God, Mark has no idea how the state of Florida is actually fucking shaped.
Yeah, it's only the peninsula. There's no panhandle. It's just a peninsula that's jammed apparently straight up against Texas and Mexico.
It fucking ends at Lake City and goes straight down to the fucking Steinhatchee.
Well, yeah, I mean, because apparently even Jacksonville, since it's on the damn panhandle. They need a bigger venue. Yeah. Oh, for Texas Haunter's Convention? Well, that's a good sign. You know what I mean? Maybe if it wasn't inundated with Verping Clerns winning prizes, they wouldn't need a bigger venue. But
Good night, Jessica. And yes, well, I mean, fucking Alabama is kind of, well, Alabama / Louisiana / Texas are all that's like Verping Clern fucking central right there.
now, here's the deal: is a few years ago, Mark could swear to God I was a 15-minute drive. Now it's gone to 90 minutes. So in about 5 to 6 more years, it'll go to 180 minutes, and we'll work up to that 6.5 hour.
It's at least 6.5 hours. When my mom lived in Pensacola, it was literally an 8-hour drive from New Smyrna to Pensacola. So, like,
Yeah.
even if he cut up fucking through Gainesville, Ocala, all that shit, it's still going to take him at least 7.5 hours.
Yeah, I mean, literally, if I drive from here to Orlando, taking 10 and then 75, it's
Yes.
6.5 hours.
75, that was the road I was thinking of. That went through Gainesville and shit.
Yeah, it's 6.5 hours, and that's with one stop for gas, peeing, and food.
I will say though, I did drive with Mark when we went from Orlando to Cape Canaveral, and that motherfucker does like 90 to 95 the entire way. So
Well, I can't wait to get in a vehicle with Mark. I want to get a truck with his 40-inch 4K console screen that controls his whatever.
yeah, he literally has more fucking CPU power in his fucking dashboard than most normal humans have in their house.
And the fact he can drive around inside Disney is kind of cool.
And it's loud as fuck.
They sold out in 3 months. That's not bad.
Oh, fuck you. Don't bring that up.
It's because Keith's not here.
Apparently
Somebody has to hold the board.
We're blocking dead ends comp. I'm deleting that comment. Fuck out of here. That shit's wild. Get out. Nope.
Well, I'm just, like I said, going back on Vic's thing.
Yeah, me too. There's a huge fucking difference between a Forester, an Outback, and a WRX. All right, like those are fucking 3 completely different vehicles. And I drive a WRX. All right. There's no fucking coexist sticker on my bumper. I don't even have a muffler on my car, right? I have a muffler to delete. So, like, fuck the environment with my exhaust, is what I'm saying. There's no coexist, none of that shit. Get out of here.
I know, Ezekiel, right?
I'm not doing this shit again. I got 1 minute, and I'm not doing it. We're ending this shit at 10 o'clock. Fuck you guys and your goddamn Subaru hate.
I was really hoping Vic would show up tonight or something, because I'm going to ask like this. It's alright. I'll send him a message. But yeah, I'm with you. Actually, I'm sweating profusely at this point, and I need to go take a excessively cold shower with the 98-degree water that comes out of my pipes. What you do, vape?
No, never. Not once in my life. Never such a thing has ever happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you, Mark. You dick.
Oh my God. Lord. Come with a steering on the left side. I bet you can get it that way.
Oh my God. My steering wheel is literally on the fucking left side. It's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's fucking Captain Crunch, you dick. Figure it out.
That confused me so much, dead end. That was good.
He has literally been with me so much. He knows I was like, oh no, this shit tastes like Captain Crunch. But yeah, he's gonna be like, oh no, it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I'm Mark and I have no fucking memory of anything.
Yeah, but I'm amazed that Mark spelled cinnamon with a C. So give him that much.
I will give it to him. He did spell cinnamon correctly. Well, yeah. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He probably got fucking it was probably auto-corrected to the correct spelling of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. He knows it's Captain Crunch, not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Tell him to fucking spell patchouli.
No, we don't have time for that. Well, I guess we really should wind it down because I need to go. I really do need to go cool off and get some water. And
I gotta go do shit that's not this. I don't.
it's not this. That totally. That's a new one.
Patchouli.
But poison milk. Oh God. Put AC in your house. Yeah, it's just that'll never happen. I don't mind the heat, but I just can't sit down in one spot, literally for as much as I do.
With three fucking computers running at 117 degrees for over an hour.
Well, yeah, no, the iMac handles it pretty good. It's actually that's not too bad. No, it's just my butt starts sweating profusely.
Oh, before we go though, we do have so we've already talked about this off stream, and I've talked to a few people off stream as well. We're gonna do a series based on AliExpress, Arduinos, and Raspberry Pis, and how all the things actually work. I can't say that we're actually going to do them as a live stream, though, because I think they would do better as an actual video. But that's my opinion on this. Like, Mike, we could do an entire LED show, but like walking people through how to incorporate LEDs in the code that's involved with an Arduino, I don't think would really translate into a live show other than us just simply asking or answering questions that come up as we're doing things. So I don't know. Would it be better to do it live, or would it be better to just film our own shit and then upload it?
Yeah, let us know.
I mean, the upside to doing it live would be we could actually answer your questions as we're going through stuff. I mean, there'll be video, obviously, of like what's happening, and I can post all the code that we're using beforehand. So if you want to actually try to alter the code, I could tell you what isn't going to work and what is going to work, versus you messaging us and it takes me 3.5 days to respond. Versus like Mike's like, these are the items you should get, and then I'm like, this is how you would use those items in Arduino or Raspberry Pi, which are they're very similar as far as the code goes. There's not a huge difference in the coding itself.
Sophie, maybe so. Ranger, just answer a quick question. I've heard about the pneumatic props at Lowe's. I have not seen them. I probably should take a look at them. I myself would not trust any pneumatic prop that comes from Lowe's, quite honestly. I just wouldn't. If this is the first year they've done pneumatic props, I can actually see recalls happening and lawsuits. I don't agree with something like that has that much force and power. If they do, like I said, I haven't really seen them, but that's, pneumatic props can be ultra dangerous if they're not done correctly.
All right, so we got two different answers that both kind of follow along the same line. So Icy said we can ask questions on the following live, but I mean, that's literally, a week away. And then Julio said, if you do a live, can you tell me what to buy beforehand? So maybe we compile a list of the items that you should buy, and we'll direct you into the proper downloads for Arduino or Raspberry Pi, which honestly, I'm just going to focus on Arduino for right now because it's the easiest for an entry level thing to do. And they're super cheap. You can get an Arduino board with pretty much everything for 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon. Whereas you get into Raspberry Pi, you're downloading more software onto the actual board itself as opposed to actually programming it from your computer and then uploading it to the board itself.
Well, and a Pi would be overkill.
A Raspberry Pi really would be. Unless you're doing multiple triggers, multiple actions, it really, I feel like a Raspberry Pi is kind of the advanced class. We need to just start strictly on an Arduino where it's simple, basic, motion activated, voice activated, a very basic LED trigger. There's a lot you can do with very simple code on an Arduino, especially with everything that you can buy on AliExpress.
You can get Pis, Mark. They're not as scarce as you think.
They're really not. You can get a Raspberry Pi fairly easily with a search. But again, an Arduino, you can get an Arduino board, an entire Arduino beginner kit off Amazon for $20. And it can do literally anything that you need it to do as far as any of the stuff we're going to show you from AliExpress. You can motion activate, you can do audio triggers. There's no reason you need a Raspberry Pi unless you're storing a massive amount of information on the board itself.
Yeah. And going back on the parts list, James and I talked about that too. And it is true that it would be some of the stuff would come from AliExpress, and it would take 12 to 14 days. They've gotten really good with shipping. So the idea would be for y'all to, whoever wanted to participate would be able to have the list, grab the stuff, wait for the shipping, have it, and then the video would come out. Or you put the video out, and you could watch it while you wait for your parts. And then if you have questions. So, yeah.
I really do think it would be more intuitive if we could do an actual live, but it would have to be very basic stuff. You'd have to point them into the direction of you need these set of LED eyes or LCD eyes. You need a certain amount of whatever LEDs. The LED portion. I don't really fuck with LEDs that much, but I can program them to respond to whatever they need to. So
and the way we could do it though is do an actual pre-recorded video of all of it. People can watch it and then have a live stream that kind of reproduces that video, but we can answer the questions live. It may not entail the entire video because we'll have to start and stop and stuff, but I could see that too. I could see a couple different ways of doing it.
Yeah, I could see doing a pre-recorded show and then having step-by-step instructions and then simply doing a live stream 100% dedicated to that specific thing. So then they're well, I'm stuck on step 4. We can go back and be well, this is what your issue is. Or if you're not doing the proper inputs or outputs, then it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, and I see, yes, AliExpress is completely overwhelming if you just start going on there and like literally just window shopping. Because you have to, the thing with AliExpress is you have to remember definitely if you are getting things from China, which regardless of whether you like China or not, that's where so many things come from. And AliExpress, I mean, the things you can literally get like the mechanisms for the little rides that are in front of like grocery stores and stuff, like the ride the horse thing, and you put the quarter in and shit. You can buy those mechanisms. You can buy pieces and parts if you own a fairground. I mean, you can. I swear to God, everything is on. There is no limit, but it can be extremely overwhelming. And
I do agree. So AZ said a pre-shopping list would be awesome. So like,
yeah. Well, that's what. Yeah. So I mean, I agree.
I say within the next like 2 weeks, either next week or the following week, that we actually do a live show. You and I compile a list of things that they need to have, and then I will figure out what I need to do as far as programming them with an Arduino on how to get them to actually work. So I can be like, this is what you need, and then we'll do an actual video that shows them how to incorporate those items, and then we'll do a live strictly on like, if you're stuck on any simple step, we can help you walk through it. Like if you're not wiring your LEDs correctly, or if your code is wrong, these are the problems, and we'll help you troubleshoot them.
Well, and some of this stuff you're going to have to get too, and me too. Like but it goes back on the idea that, and we'll do this on the website. Like we'll have lists specific for tutorials, but then just stuff that just will blow you away for Halloween that you can get on AliExpress. Just literally just like, look at this fun shit, and you should get it because it's cheap. And then like a separate shopping list for the tutorials. Because there really is. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
I say we do this within the next month. So it's July 19th. So by August 19th, we should have a solid grasp on exactly what they need to be ordering and how to program those things to work, so that they're ready for September and October.
And and if we can get the list out quicker than that, we will. I will say, as a point of interest, and the app is Temu. No, I will never. I will never not know how ever use Temu. But the AliExpress app, which they have for iPhone and Android, you do get better deals on the app for things. They have like the $1.99 deal, and it's amazing. So, I recommend just going ahead and make yourself a free account, put a payment method, which for me I use PayPal because it's secure, and get the app and start playing with the app.
And neither one of us have had issues with AliExpress. Like I've ordered shit from AliExpress, you've ordered shit from AliExpress, so like
I've ordered fucking totally. Yeah.
Like it's a Chinese company, but like your shit's safe. I've had no issues. You've had no issues.
I have zero issues.
And I don't we don't specifically recommend websites, but like as far as this goes, you're okay to be like, all right, let me put my information here.
Well, and like I said, it's like James. I mean, you have no earthly idea of this stuff. I have ordered gobs of stuff, and I get it cheaper than cheap. And I have had absolutely nothing come to me not working. None of it's been a scam. It's all been exactly per the description. I've gotten it in usually 12 days or less, and unless it's specified that it's going to take longer. I've had no ding-dongery with my PayPal account. Nothing. I don't get bombarded with bullshit. I just don't. It's actually cool as hell. It really just cool as hell. So
I'm gonna start tagging fucking AliExpress in our lives just so they can start like noticing us, because we've talked about fucking AliExpress so much. Like, I feel like we're doing ourselves a disservice here by not being on their radar as much as we talk about AliExpress.
Yeah, see, Ezekiel buys a ton of AliExpress too. So,
And he's literally on the other side of the fucking globe.
well, I mean, so are they.
Well, from us, yes, but
He's closer. Wait, is Ezekiel closer to China than we are? Yep, don't know geography. I know it better than Mark. But
I don't know. I don't think China is closer to fucking Australia than we technically are to China.
Okay, well there you go. But see, like I said, Ezekiel's bought it. But I tell you what, you start going down the rabbit hole. See, he is closer to China.
All right, well, maybe. No, I was thinking of Russia. So, like, Russia to Alaska is like 90 miles versus Florida to Cuba is 90 miles. So it's like a whole thing.
There you go. But anyway, so
the Americas is too goddamn big. You know,
yeah.
we claim too much land to be like, we're not close to anything, God damn it.
Earth is America.
Basically.
Yeah, if you talk to certain United States people, they're like, "Oh no, this is Planet America."
Planet America.
But so yeah, we'll take 3 more minutes and just so that's what we're gonna do is 5-hour flight. We're going to curate a list. That's the word of the night. Curate a list. We'll start talking off stream. We will start letting y'all know because it really is time for us to start contributing these things. Because we've been threatening that for a while. We'll get input from y'all, and we'll start down this path, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a good diversion for me to get off of some of the things that I'm just stuck on.
He's just gonna buy a bunch of new shit from AliExpress so we can just be like, yeah, no, this is justified. I need these things for fucking hot reasons.
Well, I mean, gosh, I go on AliExpress and spend $20 and I've got like bags and bags and bags of electronics and LEDs and fun things and diddly-doos and, you're like, man, this is just project time. I mean, I've just got gobs of stuff. And I will link the Arduino, like the simple basic Arduino kit that I have just for this specific reason. I will share that link to like that specific Arduino kit as well. Yeah, and I mean that you could go ahead and curate your list. Yeah, I'll do that, and I'll compile a list of simple Arduino code and like how to simply turn an LED on, turn an LED off. It's like 4 lines of code, simple, like super simple things. But like I promise you, we will teach you guys how to incorporate technology and AliExpress into your haunt so you can do shit on the super cheap without having to buy a fucking haunt controller or any of that other bullshit. You'd be like, no, I can program my prompts to do whatever the fuck I want. You want your prop to like jump out when somebody crosses a beam. You want a prop to jump out when somebody screams. Simple shit. All done within Arduino. And Arduino basic kit. Like they have motion activated, they have audio activated. The shit you can do is endless. You can control your props with a joystick. It's all super fucking easy. Can a 60-year-old do this? Absolutely. Absolutely. An 80-year-old could do this. That's half blind with glaucoma and no legs. I don't know what the legs have to do with it, but I feel like it might have something. There's an involvement with legs. Julio, yes, dude. I will message you the Arduino kit that you need. Mark, MD is 16 does this. Wow. Yeah, not quite. Not quite yet. I'll be older next week. Wait, next week? Yeah, I'll be older next week. What? Your birthday next week? What the fuck? Yeah, next Thursday.
Oh shit! So we're gonna do a fucking birthday stream next Wednesday. Okay, noted.
Oh, that's true. Like we can do that. I didn't think about. Wait a minute. Am I working? Hold on. Let me see if I'm working next Wednesday. We're back in crazy mode. Our remediation, which I'm not supposed to use that word, apparently is done.
Fucking remediation.
Oh yeah, I'm available next Wednesday. There we go. But folks, we're gonna go because I have got to jump in a cold shower so that I may wash the oils and sweat of the day off of me. Legitimately drinks.
Legitimately drinks. Yes.
But yeah, we will start getting these things situated, and I do recommend go ahead. You've got my full consent. James and I are both techs. I will tell you that the AliExpress app is absolutely fine. Make yourself an account. You can do that online. Go ahead and get your payment method. I recommend PayPal, whatever you want to do. Get that set up and start playing with AliExpress. But the app, you will see deals that are even just for flashlights and shit. I mean, you'd be like, oh my god, $1.99? Hell yeah. So, legitimately. But we're going to go ahead and head out, folks. Thank you as always. Yeah, we're not circling back to the mom water thing. We're not circling back to that, Mark. We're good. I'm glad you were able to stay with us, Mark. Though. I legitimately am glad. Well, y'all are all awesome too, Ezekiel. All of y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and wind it down so that I may taste the 98-degree cold water coming out of my tap. Oh, you're working? Okay. But yes, we will give y'all heads up for the list. If we start anything, James probably will be able to get his Arduino stuff out to you first. Those of you who are interested, snag it. Thank you all once again so much. Stay safe. I'm gonna pass it to James.
Yeah. So if you legitimately want like a starting point for Arduino stuff, you just want to get it to have it in your possession to mess around with, whatever. I mean, feel free to send me a private message and be like, "Hey, what do you recommend?" And I'll send it to you. Like Julio said, he wants to know, the basic kit, and it's super simple. Like you can get it within literally a day on Amazon. The Arduino quits. Yeah, the Arduino kits on Amazon are, they're basic, but they literally will take you through everything that we are possibly going to cover on a very simple show or video. I mean, you can do motion activated, you can do audio activated, you could do remote control activated, you could put your own audio clips on it. The shit's endless that you could do. And then you add all the random shit from AliExpress, like the fucking LCD eyes, the whatever the fuck. I mean, the things are literally limitless. It's a matter of you taking the time to learn how to do it, which we're gonna slowly lead you guys into the process. And again, if like we cover this on the stream and you're like, I missed an entire step, send us a message. Give me like 2 or 3 days to respond, because I legitimately have a lot of shit going on. So like, I'm not always going to be checking the Haunters Anonymous messages, but like, just send a message. I'll get to you as soon as I can, and we'll work through this shit. Like, you guys can do this. I promise you. You don't have to spend the $300 or $400 on some random ass fucking controller for a prop that you could literally do for $20 to $30. So, that's the end goal here.
Okay.
But yeah, so fucking end this show. We're going. Good night, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening, and all that shit. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys and gals. Be safe. See you next week.